Morning guys, happy Friday. We're here with another Flexy Friday video. So today I want to show you how to correctly stretch your quads. Your quads are your front leg muscles, so the ones that take a lot of beating when you do front squats and everything when don't we work our quads. But they specifically take a lot of beating because of the fact that they are constantly under strain from sitting all day. So we sit at a 90-degree angle all day. If you're sitting at an office desk, they're constantly under tension from just sitting in one position. So very often you find people that can't squat below parallel or have got a very bad squat because of the fact that they are limited by this mobility. So one way that I see a lot of people stretching their quads is by the fact that they open up their rib cage and they sort of just lean into it, and this all just sits in the lower back. You might be feeling your quads still just because that's how tight your quads are, but a lot of the stretch is actually just going straight to the lower back, so you're not getting the full benefit of it. What you're wanting to think about doing is tucking this. So you really want to think about, I like to say, you've got a ribbon from your hip to your rib cage and you want to pull that ribbon really tight, so you want it to suck in. Another way that I've heard is you want to think about getting your butt to the floor or getting your hip bone to the sky, so you really want this tucking motion. Already from that tuck, you've sort of sucked in, you've drawn in your stomach, you've sucked in, the glute is now sort of facing downwards and the hip bone is now facing upwards. Already that should switch on this quad area. And then from there onwards, we're trying to keep this as much as possible and then draw forward. I don't need to go that forward before I realize that this is really switched on, it's stretching, it's nice and active in this position. If this still isn't good enough for you, keeping that, drawing it forward, we take the same leg that's down, that hand comes over that front knee. Sorry, I'm in a terrible angle here, so I keep having to move around. We want to think about making sure that we've drawn in, we've pushed forward. We want to think about drawing over that front knee. We can pulse here, we can hold here, we can sort of swivel around here, but I don't suddenly want you to just relax and just fall into this lower back region again. Already, like, my back's feeling a little bit tender today. I can feel that that's not doing anything good for my back, and it's definitely not doing anything good for my core. So if we take this against the wall, you very often see people doing what they call a couch stretch. It's because it's an easy enough stretch to do against your couch, but I like to obviously do it against my wall just because it's a tad more secure. So the same thing will apply. I'm going to pick up one leg. The idea is so that it's not so far away from the wall. And some of us might start here. We might obviously have very tight quads. So beggars can't be choosers. So if we are here, that's okay. But that's not the main goal. The main goal is to align your entire shin bone right up against the wall. From there onwards, I push my other leg into a lunge. I might need to stay down here again because mobility might inhibit me from being able to come up, but the goal would be is to come completely up, and we still again trying to draw that hip bone up to the sky, glute down to the floor and suction that in so that we can have a nice sort of neutral spine and be in this nice position. Again, not just sitting into it, lower back taking everything. We want to make sure that that action is so dramatic so that you're getting that correct movement of the quad or that correct stretching of the quad. So again, I'm just thinking about showing you, we don't want that. We don't want this very flexed open rib cage, very hyperextended back. We want to suck that in. From there onwards, I can already feel my quads switch on and start stretching so much more. From there onwards, I think about drawing that forward, keeping that as much as possible. Obviously, hips are facing forward, shoulders are facing forward. I'm simply just being polite by facing the camera. If we're wanting to take that a step further, again, we don't just let this hang and then pick up our back foot. We want to think about sucking that in, keeping that, picking up the back foot, staying here, then drawing the quad forward. Again, I see so many people just sort of hanging out down here, back is flexed. I can only really feel my hamstrings in this position, but again, you might feel your hips, and that's why you think, oh, okay, this is a fine stretch, and then you sort of pick up your back leg and you sort of just hang in this position. You might feel it, but it's not doing the best thing for you. So making sure we're tucking that, we're drawing forward in this very nice active position, we're picking up that back leg, and then you can start doing fancy things like drawing that foot forward. But I'm not just hanging into that position. There's sort of this very inactive stretch that's not getting the full benefits of what you want from the quad. It's a very, very highly used muscle. I'm sure if you're training, you've done a few squats, sorry, it's so hot here today. I'm just simply just sweating by just talking to you. You want to make sure that you are working out properly, and to recover efficiently, you're getting nice and mobile and stretching as effectively as you're working out. I hope that makes sense, guys. Please message me if it doesn't. I'll send you a couple more tips, see what you're doing, and then I can maybe help you a little bit better. Have an awesome Friday, have an awesome weekend, guys. See you, bye.